So, in today's modern era of games, online multiplayer is king. All the top games are competitive multiplayer experiences. Counter-Strike, Dota, PUBG, Apex Legends. It's pretty obvious what people are playing and what viewers are tuning in for. Now, as you know, this is a Star Wars channel, so we talk about Star Wars games, and it's for this reason I just can't wrap my head around why this next wave of Star Wars games is almost exclusively single-player. Jedi 2, single-player. Lego Star Wars, The Skywalker Saga. Okay, you get couch co-op, but still, single-player. Even Respawn's upcoming first-person shooter will be a single-player game. If you missed the latest video talking about the new details on that game, check it out here. But the point is, how can a franchise that is so multiplayer by nature be so limited to single-player experiences? Okay, sure, half of Star Wars is the story, but it's in the title itself, Star Wars. You can't fight a war with just one person. This is why Battlefront is such a beloved part of Star Wars fandom. It puts you in the wars part of Star Wars. It is the definitive Star Wars game, and it just so happens to be an online multiplayer. Guys, if you like today's video, hit that thumbs up button to let me know. Do it. And if you're new, consider subscribing and getting notified. With all of these games on the horizon, I'm really hyped for the future, and I hope you'll join me for all the awesome content. Now, if only we can get some love for the multiplayer titles. Alright, if we look at the entire list of upcoming games, we only know of two that is for sure going to be online, and that is Star Wars Hunters and the Knights of the Old Republic remake. Considering this entire list is 8 games long, that's not a very good ratio. Let's go down it real quick. Starting with EA, who has 3 more games on the way, despite not holding exclusivity rights anymore, those being Jedi 2, the first-person shooter I mentioned, and a new strategy game being developed by BitReactor. Even the strategy game is going to be a turn-based tactics title, according to the developers themselves, and maybe you can play against other players, but that's not exactly what players are thinking of when they think of a competitive online game. The Knights of the Old Republic remake is insanely hype, but that's still an MMORPG, assuming it stays true to the original, of course. So sure, it's multiplayer, just in a different way. Then we have Lego Star Wars The Skywalker Saga, which is confirmed to not have any online multiplayer features, although there will be couch co-op, and PC players will have the luxury of Steam's Remote Play feature, so you can kind of get away with online co-op in that way. Then we've got Star Wars Eclipse, which just got announced a few months ago, and while we don't have many details about it yet, it's still being advertised as a narrative-based adventure game. That doesn't sound like there's much room for online. Then of course we have the one everybody forgets about, Ubisoft's open world game, which we probably know the least about out of all of these titles. That one could have online features, and I could actually envision a GTA-style Star Wars game, which just sounds awesome. And then finally, Star Wars Hunters, the one game that is competitive online multiplayer at its core. And it's also the least accessible out of all of these. Do you see the point I'm trying to make? Like, where are the multiplayer games? Why is Star Wars getting shafted out of the one genre that it does the best in? Now, we're all thinking it, so I'll just get it out of the way. Yeah, Battlefront 3 would absolutely solve this issue. At the very least, more content in Battlefront 2 would fix the issue, but neither of those outcomes are likely. Battlefront 3 was never on the table, and EA decided to kill Battlefront 2 just so they could kill another franchise. But I digress. I don't want to turn this into a crap on EA session, which sounds fun. I'm just a little lost here because everywhere I look online, be it Twitter or even my own comments section, the fans want online multiplayer games. I'll see a few who are happy with more solo play, and that's awesome. But the majority, and I mean the vast majority, are looking for the next big online title. We had Battlefront 2 from 2017 to 2020. We then had Squadrons for about a month, and now nothing. From EA's perspective, I can kind of get it. Both Battlefronts had a rocky launch, and Squadrons was all but a flop. From a business point of view, I can understand how the suits look at that and go, multiplayer is not the way. The problem is they don't understand what the issue was, which was a lack of resources for DICE in Battlefront 2, and a lack of understanding what players wanted when it came to Squadrons. It's like they're stabbing themselves in the stomach with a lightsaber and then saying, lightsabers aren't useful, this just hurts me. Well, stop stabbing yourself, dummy! Look, this video isn't to complain about the current state of Star Wars games. I've been doing that for the past 2 years. This is more to bring some more awareness to the fact that a lot of players are probably going to find themselves disappointed as time goes on, and no new multiplayer games get released. A huge bummer for me was the fact that Respawn's shooter isn't going to be online, which would have been the perfect game to include at least some online features, even if it's a small-scale team deathmatch kind of thing. Again, I'll plug that video talking about those details in case you missed it, because that game could be great. But I'll just leave it here, and I'll leave you with the question, would you like to see more online multiplayer Star Wars games, or are you satisfied with the current lineup that we have on the way? I will say, the variety in genre is nice, but the lack of arguably the most popular genre is a little disappointing. Anyway guys, thank you so much for tuning into the video. If you enjoyed it, give it a thumbs up. If not, a thumbs down. And again, if you're new, be sure to subscribe for more awesome content. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace!